Hello, good afternoon, dear all. We today our topic is the purpose of client and server computing. So we are in an era where information technologies played a critical role in business application. Okay, considering an area, an organization where highly investment is, done for widening the opportunity available to compete in the global market. This technology plays a to boom to us from which we are able to compete in this global economy and get most of it. In the competitive global economy, we need to ensure that you know uh, we have to be present everywhere and compete with their peers in the competitive market. And if we are not able to do that, we will obsolescence and obscure from the market if we are unwilling to compete. Okay, see, that's why where the client server architecture models comes into the play. According to this statement, it is necessary for organization to sustain their market position by, re-engineering the prevailing organization structures, okay, and business practices to achieve their business goal. In short, basic need to evolve for the change of the technological aspect. We basic need to evolve with the changes to enhance their technological aspect. Now let's move ahead. Therefore, our nation should undergo a mechanism to retrieve and process its corporate data to make business procedure more efficient to excel or to survive in the global market. How we can process this corporate data and our business procedure and how we are going to manage it. That's what defines the excellence of our work and how we are going to survive in the global market. Client server model brings out a logical perspective of distributed corporative processing where the server handles and processes all the client requests. See, any whatever medium you are using on the internet, on web, you are using client server. If you are going for entertainment, you are just search some song and finally their song appears, you click and song is retrieved from the server and finally it's played in front of you. What really it is a client server. Okay, you just have a Facebook comment and you just write down some thread and finally that has been shown to you. What is that? It is client server. So client server model become a revolutionary milestone to the data processing industry. Okay, and client server computing is the most effective source of the tools that empowers employees with authority and responsibility. Okay, now with the vast progression of the technology in the different area, and then how our workstation has been enhanced, how our work group is empowered through the various tools available, like Teamlease, like Skype, like this, like right now we have Zoom and as well, So how we are going to our workstation work group in power with the help of the technology. We need to understand how remote management is done, how the market-driven business is market-driven business is getting the data and data is processing during time, and it's forecasting that what next need we need to do. That's what client server computing is needed. That is the place and where the client server computing is needed. Client server computing has a vast progression in the computer industry, living in any area or corner and dust. Often hybrid skills are required for the development. One should understand this very clearly. Of client by server application, including database design, transaction processing and communication skills, and graphical user design interface and development, etc. Advanced applications require expertise of distributed objects and component infrastructure. Most commonly found client server strategy today is PC LAN implementation, optimized for usage of group and batch. This has basically given the threshold to many new distributed enterprise and it eliminates host centric approach. So this the best profit of doing client server businesses, we are free from the host centric approach. Now, before understanding the client server model, let's understand what really a client and server is all about. A client is a single user workstation, that provides presentation service, database service, and connectivity, along with an interface for user interaction to acquire business. One should understand it clearly again. The client station is giving the presentation service, database service, and connectivity, along with an interface for user interaction to acquire business needs. Okay. What type of things you need to do? Presentation service, database service, and connectivity, along with the interface for user interaction to acquire business needs. Let's move ahead. And what this server is all about then? Server is one or more multi-user processors with higher capacity of shared memory, which provides connectivity and the database services along with interfaces relevant to the business procedures. Client-based server computing provides an environment that enhances business procedures by appropriately synchronizing the application processing between the client and the server. So this definition need to be elaborated. See, one need to understand in the simple language the workstation which is requesting, that is client, and the workstation which is processing data and giving the output. That is what server is all about. Okay, so step by step enhancing. So at the client side, we have our presentation service. Okay, we have our database service, we have our connectivity of the interfaces service, and we have a user interaction service from which we are able to acquire our business name. At the server end, we have a multi-user processors with the high capacity of the shared memory. Tertiary, which provides the connectivity to the database services from which relevant business processes can be upgraded. Next, client server computing provides an environment that enhances business procedures by appropriately synchronizing the application processing between the client and server. See, both and workstation there, the power of the workstation is very different. Client have some lower processing power workstation, her server has a higher processing power workstation, because at the time a server need to interact with the various clients and get the request and process the request and answer to them. Okay, now let's move ahead. What is the client server architecture is all about? See, the client server architecture and the protocol on which it works actually is the basics, relies on the basis of the request server. It's very important to step. Client server architecture relies on the basis of the request survey, request for services by clients, okay, and respond of processed result by the server. The communication between two aspects is gained through inter-process communication, IPC, which facilitates the distributed placement of the client and server procedures. The client server model is basically platform independent blend with the cooperating processing or peer-to-peer model processing. The platform provides the opportunity for user to access business functionality, thereby exposing into risk situation, since it's transparent to the underlying technology as well to the user. Okay, so client server, in this client server architecture, we rely on the basis of the request serving, okay, client request and server respond, okay, and the communication between two is taken care by IPC, inter-process communication, okay, and finally the client server model is basically platform independent and blend with the cooperating processing and peer-to-peer model processes. Now, one should understand the platform provides the opportunity for user to access the business functionality, thereby exposing into risky situations since it's transparent to the underlying technology as well as the user. That's why there is always a need of development in the existing technologies, because when we uses those technologies and we came across about the different risky situations from which this from which security issues can be happen, and we need to take care of this for the proper execution of the client server model. Let's move ahead. Understand what are the characteristics of the client and server. We understand what is client, what is server. We understand what is client and server architecture. Now let's move what are the characteristics of this client and server. The client and the servers are the logical entities that work together over a network to accomplish a task. Again, it is not a physical entity, it is a logical entity, and we need to understand this. First, service. The client server is basically a relationship between processes running on distributed device. Server process considered as the supplies of service. First of all, client server is running on the distributed devices. Server process considered as the supplies of service. So, in the distributed devices, the supplier of services are server processes, and the client process is a consumer of the service. So basically the client server computing is running on the distributed device, where server process supplies the service and client process consumes those services. Briefly, the methodology provides a separation of functionality subject to offer the services. So with the help of this client server architecture, we are able to bifurcate between the services of the client and server. Next most important characteristic is dissociation. A server is eligible of handling clients, simultaneously controlling the service access for the resources. Asymmetrical protocols. Client server is considered as many to one relationship. Many clients to one server, which is initiated by some clients of request of service while the server awaits. Sometimes a client may pass a reference to callback object when it's request a service. This enforces the server's callback the client, making the server a client itself. Next important property of the client server architecture is transparency of location. The server process can reside in a client or any machine across a network. In such situation, client server software is responsible for implying the server locations by redirecting the server calls. Okay, so a point of the time, a server can be a client and the client can be a server. So this phenomena of the service giving is the most important and beautiful characteristic of this client server computing. Next is intercommunication via message. Interaction between clients and server is obtained through a message passing mechanism, mainly to deliver service request and response. Next important thing is encapsulation of services. A server, services are distributed, bifurcated. Then how those services are encapsulated within the arena of client and server, as it's the property of the encapsulation. A server is specialized in satisfying client requests varyingly and can be upgraded without affecting its external environment. Client shared resources, as long as the message broadcasting is there, interface remains the same. Next point is scalability. Client by server system can be scaled horizontally or vertically. Horizontal scaling implies the addition or removal of client workstation with a minor impact in performance. Migration to more efficient servers or dividing the workload over numerous servers is considered as a vertical scaling. Very important line. In the previous encapsulation, we tried to get a services specialized to the server and client. Okay, and as per the request of the client, server upgrade upgrade as per the services or demand from the client, server need to be upgrade itself. So this how to encapsulate why it need to upgrade, because we need to encapsulate those services and provide it to the customer, because the client server architecture basic foundation is to respond to the basic foundation is to service, and the server is there to respond for the service. Okay, so with the help of this encapsulation service, without affecting the external environment like client shared resources and loss, server and client communication message broadcasting interface remains the same. So whatever the environment is, whatever the environment of client is, whatever the client of server is, only those part of the system is touch which is needed for that service. Next, moving towards scalability. What really the scalability is all about. In the client server system can be horizontal, it can be scalable, but it can expand in the vertical and the horizontal manner. So how this vertical and horizontal manner things take place? It's like this. In the horizontal scaling, addition or removal of client workstation with a minor impact in performance. We need to add more client workstation and the load time will increase. This we need to take care, and finally the horizontal scaling take place. And what is the migration to more efficient server or dividing the this is a horizontal scaling is taking care of the client workstation, and migration of the more efficient servers or dividing the workload over numerous servers is considered as the vertical scaling. So in the horizontal scaling, we are increasing the workstation strength of our client, and the vertical scaling, we are increasing the workstation of a server. Next important property is integrity. Since the server code and server data is managed centrally, maintenance cost is less and result in shared data consistency and dependability of clients. Okay, so till time we had our discussion of what is client server computing is, and we technically we understand what really the client is. Technically we understand what is server is. Technically we understand what is client server architecture, what are the characteristics of the client server architecture. Let's move. What is the advantage of client server architecture? There are a few advantages, and okay, let's move. Advantages of client server architecture. See, guys, organizations often seek opportunities to maintain service and quality competition to sustain its market position with the help of technology, where the client server model makes an effective impact. Okay, with the help of the technology, every organization seek opportunity and maintain service and quality in competition to sustain the market position with the help of technology, where the client server model makes an effective impact. So whenever client is trying to sustain itself with the help of technology, then client server architecture help in to grow and sustain. So deployment of the client server computing automation will positively increase the productivity through the uses of cost effective user interface enhanced data storage, vast connectivity, reliable application services. Okay. If properly implemented, it is capable of improving organization behavior with the help of the knowledgeable worker who can manipulate data and respond to the errors. Improved data sharing. See, in the last, we understand key advantages is that with the help of the client server architecture, we impact our organization growth. Why? Because with the help of this, we provide a cost-effective user interface, enhanced data storage, vast connectivity, and reliable application services. Let's move ahead. If properly implemented, it's capable of improving organization behavior with the help of knowledgeable worker who can manipulate data and respond to the errors appropriately. That's why many technologies are there with server side, which is known as the server side, which help us to manipulate the data and respond to errors from which the client request model don't have model. Let's move ahead. One of the most important properties is improved data sharing. Data is retained by usual business processes and manipulated on the server. Okay, and is available for the designated user over a authorized access. See, your Facebook data is always available to you because you have an authorized login ID and password. The use of structural query language supports open access from all client aspects and also transparency in network services depicted. Similar data is being shared among users. Okay. So with the help of this, we are able to get improved data sharing. Next important data sharing is integration of services. Every client is given the opportunity to access the corporate information via the desktop interface, eliminating the necessity to log into terminal mode or another processor. So interfacing becomes very easy, and maybe it is possible that interfacing has a different technology and server side a different technology. With the help of the client server architecture, we are able to integrate those services within a system. So desktop tools like spreadsheets, PowerPoint presentation, etc. can be used to deal with corporate data with the help of database and application server resident on the network to produce meaningful information. Next is shared resources among different platforms. Application used for client server model is built regardless of the hardware platform or technical background of the entitled software, or you can say that operating system. Providing an open computing environment, enforcing users to obtain the services of clients and servers, database application and communication servers. Next is interoperation of data. All development tools used for client server application access the backend data server through SQL. So an industry standard for the data definition and access language, helpful for the consistent management of the corporate data. Advanced database products enable user application to gain a merged view of corporate data dispersed over several platforms. Rather than a single target platform, this ensures database integrity with the ability to perform updates on the multiple locations, enforcing quality recital and recovery. So interoperation of the data with the help of the market accepted technology, we are able to create a database from its integrity can be maintained at the various platforms as well. So with the help of the new technology, the distributed database, we can also get a benefit of the multiple location of the storing of the data under the client server architecture. Next move, data processing capabilities despite the locations. We are in an era which undergoes a transformation of machine-centric systems to user-centric systems. So machine-centric systems like mainframe, mini micro application had a unique access platform and functionalities, keys, navigation options, performance and security were all visible. So client server computers, users can directly log into a system despite of the location or technology of the processor. So we're moving from a mainframe to new technology. Easy maintenance. Since client server architecture Muted model representation disperses responsibility among an independent computers integrated across a network. It's an advantage in terms of maintenance. It's an easy to replace, repair, upgrade and relocate a server while clients remain unaffected. This unawareness of change is called encapsulation. Change is happening but is not affecting the system. That's what is the property of encapsulation is all about. This is one of the primary property in object-oriented principle. Next is security. Servers have better control, access and resources to ensure that only authorized clients can access or manipulate data, and server updates are administered effectively. And these are the properties, positive properties of advantages you can say that of the client server architecture, like improved data sharing, integration of services, shared resources among different platforms, interoperation of data, data processing capability despite the location, easy maintenance, security. Now let's move a little bit disadvantages why this applications comes into effect and what are really the types of what is 2-tier system and the 3-tier system and all. We will look upon this, but let's move ahead. So, what are the disadvantages of client-server computing with respect to peer-to-peer networks? First of all, overload on the servers. When there are frequent simultaneous client requests, servers severely gets overloaded, forming traffic congestions. But in P2P network, adding more nodes will increase its bandwidth since it's calculating as the sum of bandwidth of each node in the network. Okay. Impact of centralized architecture. Since it's centralized, if a critical server fails, client requests are not accomplished. Therefore, client server lacks robustness of a good P2P network. Resources are distributed among many nodes. This architecture can be considered as a network model where a machine or process involved is either a client or server. Servers are usually machines with high processing power dedicated in a synchronizing network traffic into servers. Devices as the disk drivers, file servers, printers, print servers. Clients are basically machines or workstations which are dependent on servers for the resource, data and devices. Apart from centralized distributed client by server model, peer-to-peer architecture remains a major concern as it requires the distribution of equal responsibility among each nodes. Both these models are widely used in industry and both include advantages and disadvantages as mentioned below. Okay, above actually. Let's move ahead. Implementation methods and application. Now we understand what is the client server computing is, what is its advantage, what is client, what is server, why we need client server architecture, what is the advantages of it, what is disadvantages of this. Let's understand what is the disadvantages with respect to peer-to-peer. Okay, this overloaded servers or what is impact of the centralized architecture. Okay, let's understand how this method is implemented among the different systems. We have 2-tier system, 3-tier system and n-tier systems. Broadly we categorize this thing into three types of implementation systems actually. So I think so this requires a different approach for understanding this concept. So we will go for the next lecture for this 2-tier, 3-tier and n-tier client model. So thank you for your patience, and we will upgrade this concept in the next lecture. Take care.